It's a big goal for the club to get into the Champions playoff. It's not easy. There's a lot of good teams in the league and in the competition. I think it's a big achievement in a tough season for sure.
Ik heb een aantal foto's klaar liggen waar we naar kunnen kijken en dan kunnen we zo aan de hand van die foto's eigenlijk de reguliere competitie overlopen. Ik stel voor dat je begint met de eerste foto.
Standard away. Now for me, it was the first win for everybody in the season. A difficult away game and a difficult start of the season with 0-6 for a new group, a new staff, a new coach also. Then it was a big relief to go to Standard and to win. For a whole team perspective, the 3 points were really important. But I think what Michael Frey did on that field was also amazing. I've never seen a player before scoring 5 goals. But I remember before the game, I saw there was a small lighter or something in the dressing room with fire. So I asked him before the game, "You're on fire today?" And he said, "Yes, I will be on fire, coach." And I have to say, he was really on fire. 5 goals and really, really nice goals, good goals. Of course, some good team play in between as well. It was good to see that some of the things that we actually been practicing is also paying off in the games. It was a big day and it was a good experience, and I think it lifted a lot of the pressure away from our shoulders at that time. Yeah, the other one is Anderlecht at home. A very important win. I think was maybe one of the periods where there's a little bit more wind at the Bossel and a little bit more pressure on me as a coach, us as a staff and as a group. I believe we crashed out in the cup before this, and we also lost in Europe at home. So it was the first time we really felt some wind against us and some storm from supporters, of course, media for sure. But I have to say that the group was really strong in this period, and before this game as well, they got closer together. They really stood up for each other. They stood up for me and stood up for the staff, and they played a really good game. And at the end, beating Anderlecht at home 2-0 was a really good result, and of course a good achievement as well in a period where things are a little bit shaky. Our friend Zach celebrating the first derby win of the season. For me, the derbies are everything for a club. When you play these games, it's all about winning. There's nothing in between. These games rarely are nice football. It's more a question of where you find the right mentality, because so much is at stake. Because there are 2 games that are more important than others for our fans, our supporters, and we know it before we play these games that all pressure is on us. We were the bigger team, if we can say it like this. And those games are not easy to play as a favorite against an underdog who's still a good team as Priske. But you need to deliver over 90 minutes, and in this it's over 2 times 90 minutes where you have to win. You have to perform well to win the game and show the right mentality. And both games, I think we showed that mentality. The first game away where it was an even game, but at the end Raja scored an unbelievable goal. And then the home game where we are behind 1-0 at halftime, and then you really have to show the mentality but also the quality to beat your opponent. And again, the players, they showed the focus and they showed the quality that they have, and at the end we won and picked up 6 points against the rivals, which is, as I said already, it's crucial for our supporters. You feel it. I think every time we play at home at the Bossel, we know that we have some of the best fans in the league, and when they really get together, then they can create an amazing atmosphere. And I think that's also what happened during the second half for sure, when they felt we pushed a bit more and we got a bit more quality into our game as well. Then they lifted the players for sure, and that's how it should be when you play at home. They are our 12th man, and they can really put pressure on the opponents, on the referees, but also lift our own players to perform even more. And that was for sure one of the nicer games that we had at home. Yeah, Kortrijk away was one of the games where we had to win to keep momentum going in the league. We picked up a red card after a short time in Kortrijk, and the players again had to show a strong mentality and really stick together, defend well, and at the same time try to get the goals out of the few chances that we would probably get. And I have to say the way they fought, in especially the second half, was amazing to see. The bench and the ones who came in from the bench were decisive as well. But again, that is what you need in difficult moments, that the players stick together, they unite even more. And that is why I'm really proud of this team, because every time we face some trouble, they stick together. They stood up for each other, and with that, then you have the possibility to win difficult games and definitely win even more games than maybe you sometimes should. Of course, I also prefer good wins where you're comfortable all the way through, but sometimes an ugly win, which this was, because we had a lot of box entries against. And we didn't have much ball possession. We were under pressure the whole game, more or less. But when you can stick through such a difficult game and at the end show the quality and score the 2-0 goal, then it shows more about the players, I think, in when things are going well. Because every time you see a team performing really well, then it's easier for players to perform. But when things are tough, that is where the players also show their true quality, but also their true mentality. When you see the image and see how two players, Kochi and Richie, then it was a big disappointment at home against Union. I was disappointed in us, and of course also in myself, that we were not better to compete with them than we did. I thought we came from a period which was really good. We won quite a lot of games at that moment, and we were closing in on them. So I felt it was a key moment for us really to show the true quality of our players and everything. I think also if we won the game, it would have been only 4 points, but instead we lost, and then definitely the way that we lost, where we didn't really create many chances on them, made it even more disappointing. I think I knew quite quickly in the beginning of the season that it would be a bumpy ride with some highs and definitely also some lows, because the team was so new. I think a lot of people underestimate what this group actually have achieved with so many new players, and it takes time to create that team feeling and the team spirit. So I knew that, or at least I expected that it would be, as I said, a bumpy ride. But I also felt all the way that we have some good players, we have some really good boys with a good mentality, and that if we did it right, we would accomplish one of our goals, which was to reach the playoff ones. But of course, at the same time, I also knew that realistically there were other teams who also wanted that spot. And as I said already, it's a great competition in Belgium. There's so many good teams, so many good players, and that is, for me, makes it even more a big accomplishment that we reached it with the highest amount of points in the club's history.